Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about fighting against a spear or a polearm with sword and shield or sword and buckler. Okay. Now before we talk about using the sword and shield or sword and buckler, we need to talk about using these range weapons, right? Using the spear or the polearm. Throughout the video I'm going to focus mostly on the spear because the spear typically is longer. In the thrust, the spear is faster. All right. You know, it can go low, high. You know, you can move that tip back and forth really quickly because the tip is light. So we're going to focus more on the spear, but a lot of what I say will also apply to the polearm. It's just the polearm is just going to move a little bit slower. It's going to be a little bit shorter. Okay. So the first thing we got to understand is the optimal range of the spear. Okay. So here I got a pole that's about 10 feet long. Okay. And I want you to pay attention to these two uprights here. These uprights here are about 2.5 feet apart, okay? And I also want you to look at my tip here, okay? Now I'm going to stand all the way back here, okay, with my arms back. All right, I'm going to start the tip at the first upright, and I'm going to extend. So what you see is regardless how long my pole is, it can only move forward about 2.5 feet. 3 feet if I have really long arms. If I do it with a step forward, I can double it. Okay, I can go to 5 feet, maybe 6 feet if I'm really long. Okay, if I got really long legs and long arms. Okay, all right, so with a step forward, I'm going to be somewhere between 5 feet and 6 feet. Okay, so that's important. We got to know where the optimal range of the spear is. That's really no different from having a sword. Right? If I stand closer in, right? If you look at my tip here, if I stand here in the flug and I extend my point, it's only going to cover about 2.5 feet. If I do it with a step forward, you know, same deal. I can only cover somewhere between 5 and 6 feet. So so it doesn't make a difference how long the weapon is, whether it's 3 feet long or 10 feet long or 20 feet long. That tip can only move back and forth about 6 feet max. Okay, so this is going to be really important in our strategy against the spear or the polearm. Okay, let me put this down for a second. Now the other thing to be aware of before we move on, you know, when I'm at my max range, right, you can see I can hit the post here. I cannot hit down there. So here I can hit the head. I cannot hit the legs, right? Right, this is something that's going to be familiar to all of you, okay? Same exact thing with the spear. When I'm at my max range, all right, and fully extended, right? I'm fully extended. I can thrust the face there. I cannot reach the legs down here. Okay, so I cannot reach. I can reach head. I cannot reach legs. Okay, so again, it doesn't make a difference how long the weapon itself is. The geometry is still the same. The distance going across is always going to be shorter than the distance diagonally. So again, this is also an important factor, and we're going to use this in our strategy in fighting against spears and polearms. Okay, let me get a shield now. All right, so what I have here is a spear or polearm that's fully extended, okay? And basically, the polearm man is going to stand with his spear or spear retracted, right? He's retracted so that he can thrust forward, okay? So I'm aware that from that tip, he can only thrust that tip forward somewhere between 5 and 6 feet, and we'll say 6 feet, you know, just to be on the safe side. So what I want to do with my shield is I want to stand at the edge of his range, about 6 feet back, because here I know that, you know, the only area that he can really target is my chest and head. He cannot reach my legs because of the angle that I explained earlier. Okay, so I know that he's going to target my head. Now he might step forward a little bit, in which case I can step back a little bit. Also, you know, I can also bait him. You know, I can move around a little bit to try and confuse him as to far as what his distance is. Okay, what I'm trying to do is I need him to thrust me. I need him to thrust into my shield. Ideally, I want to place myself at a place where, when he fully extends, all he can do is hit my shield. He can't hit me, right? Because remember, especially if I'm holding my shield out like this, right? If I have my shield out, there's almost 2 feet between my shield and my body, okay? And I can cheat that, you know, I can use all sorts of trickery. I mean, I might start off, you know, with holding the shield really close like this, right? And then do something like that, because remember, he's 9 feet back. If he's got a longer spear, he might be 15 feet back. So if I come in like this, and then as I'm moving around, at some point step back, you know, I can position myself where all he can hit is the face of the shield, and he can't hit my body. So these are all forms of trickery that I'm going to use against him to get him to extend. I need him to extend, because what's going to happen is, you know, I'm just going to go back and forth a couple times as I'm testing the range. At some point, I'm going to get him to commit to a strong thrust, a strong extension. And what's going to happen is, what I want to do is, as soon as he extends, while he's retracting, okay, I'm going to close in on him, okay, and I'm going to close in hard and fast. So as he extends, I'm going to come in, and once I get in here, I'm going to go to town on this guy. Up, down, okay? I'm going to attack him relentlessly. And I don't just want to put the face of my shield on his weapon. I actually want to get it on his hands. Let me put this down for a second. On any two-handed weapon, right, where you hold it with 2 hands, if you take a shield, a large shield like that, and you press it against their hands, they cannot move this, okay? And basically what you want to do with the shield is play sticky fingers. Okay, you want to keep pressure, okay, or what Lister now, you know, refers to as feeling. Keep pressure on the hilt so that they can't get a shot off, or even if they do get a shot off, it's not going to have much power, right? Keep pressure on their hands. And now here's the thing, as a shieldman, right, you have a disconnected offense-defense, which means your shield can be doing one thing, which is basically stuffing their weapon, while your sword is on the offense. You can attack and defend at the same time. So while I am pressing in the shield, while I am pressing in and controlling that weapon, I am attacking low, high. Okay? Now, and continuously until he's dead or until he yields. Okay. Now obviously in a sparring match, I mean, basically the first hit, I don't know if you guys are doing like counted blows, where 3 hits is a kill, or whatever you're doing. But the point is, you're going to keep doing that until he has been defeated. Okay, regardless of what what your situation is. If it's a single, one hit is a kill, or 3 hits is a kill, or whether it's a real life battle where you actually have to kill him. Whatever it is, you keep fighting that person until he's defeated. Okay. Now let's talk about what he's going to do. Okay. Once you start moving in on him, okay, the spearman or the polearm man, whatever, he's going to obviously pull. He's going to try and shorten his weapon up. Right. He's going to pull his tip back, and he's also going to try and move back to maintain distance. Which is why, the biggest mistake that you can make against fighting a spearman or a polearm, okay, is not closing in all the way. Okay, a lot of times I watch people fighting, all right, and once they get their opportunity, right, they move in, they come here, they stop here, and they try to get that attack. And yes, sometimes they land it. Okay, because basically what they're doing is they're attacking at the very edge of their range, where they're basically attacking with the tip of the sword. But here's the thing: if you miss, or if he blocks it, right? If he lifts his hilt up, and he blocks it, he gains distance, he's now going to basically, go back to trying to kill you. When you have the opportunity to close in, get in all the way. okay, there's nothing to prevent you from continually striking as you move in. So there's absolutely no reason not to get in there and completely stuff his weapon. You need to completely neutralize that weapon so that even if he pulls it back or if he steps back, he cannot use it. Now, if he's an experienced shieldman or polearmsman, they're not just going to back up straight. They're going to back up diagonally, or they're going to try back up in a circle. And what you're going to do is you're going to stay on him. Okay. Once you make contact with your shield on his hands, okay, basically you can feel the pressure. Okay. If you feel that you're losing pressure, basically that means you need to, move forward. If you see that pressure is starting to push back on your shield, it means he might be trying to push you back, okay? And which means you need to give. And again, no matter what you're doing, you're continually attacking. You don't stop attacking. You're stuffing his weapon while continually attacking until he's defeated. Now, you might tell me something like, well, what if he drops the spear and goes for a dagger? Well, it all comes back to fencing times. While he's dropping his main weapon and trying to pull his dagger or sword out, you are using that fencing time to continue to strike him. Okay, and you're going to strike him in very sensitive areas like his face. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that he can do, but while he's doing that stuff, you're doing other stuff too. You are killing him, and you have the advantage because you have a big shield and you have a weapon. Whereas you know for a fact that he does not have a shield. So no matter what he pulls out, you're going to have an advantage because you have the shield. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to talk a little bit about the buckler. Okay. Let's say we don't have a big shield. Let's say we have a buckler. Now with the buckler, obviously we're at a slight disadvantage. Okay. But the principle of distance applies here. I want to stay at that 6 foot area, right? And basically, I want to put myself in a position where all he can really reach is my sword or my buckler. I don't want him to be able to reach my body. Now, obviously, there's going to be some movement around. He's going to be moving. I'm going to be moving. So we're all playing for range here. We're all trying to trick each other to get ourselves in that optimal range. At some point, he's going to thrust forward. Okay. When he thrusts forward, okay, as soon as you get his polearm on your sword, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to run it up, maintain control, get your hilt on that polearm, and basically you're going to wind up and thrust straight into his face. And you keep your buckler here for added control. Okay. So this. With sword and buckler, we make a lot more use of windings than we do with the full-size shield. Because with the full-size shield, we are free to keep the shield in front of us and attack in all sorts of different directions. Okay, with the sword and buckler, we're a little bit more hesitant about coming off his weapon, because if we cut him off his weapon, if we free his weapon up, he might use it against us. So that's why with the sword and buckler, as soon as he extends and we catch that on our blade, we're going to immediately close, wind, get that thrust in, okay? If that doesn't work, if he ducks it, then basically we can take control of this weapon and, we can basically, thrust and fight him from there. But we need to control that weapon before we take our sword off that weapon, okay? So that's the main difference with fighting this with a sword and buckler. But it's the same idea. When I'm out here, if I'm 6 feet away from him, okay, the only area that he can really thrust is my face and chest area. Okay, and I have that cone of defense, where I'm basically I'm pretty well guarded. And again, I want to be in a position where he can hit my buckler and my sword, but I want to stay enough out of range so that he really can't get past my hilt. So that when he's at full extension, he can't even reach my hand. Okay. So at that point, once he gets that deep, I can try and control his weapon with my sword and move in on him. And again, when you move in, you go all the way in. You don't go halfway in. Even if you are capable of killing him at medium range, yeah, absolutely. As you're moving in, let's say you got a full-size shield, as you move in, you take that shot, but continue moving in. Get all the way up there and stuff that weapon, because what you think is a successful hit at the mid-range, right? So let's say I move in, right? Let me go back to the shield. So he thrusts, he goes to full extension. Okay, I move in, stuff his weapon. On the way in, I get a hit here. Okay, but basically there's no even though I have a hit, the fight is not necessarily over. Come in, take the thrust, take the leg, come back to the head until you are absolutely sure that he has been defeated. Keep fighting him. Okay, you don't want to let him back off, because if he backs off and creates space, now the advantage is back to him. You know, his advantage is in keeping you at distance. Your advantage is getting in really close and stuffing that weapon. Now, there's one more thing I want to talk to you guys in terms of fighting pole arms and spears. When you get in close, okay, as you close in, the pole arm or the spear is then going to, you know, the spearman is going to transition from trying to use this as an offensive weapon to using this as a defensive weapon. Okay, so he's going to try and use this to block those incoming shots. He might choke back on this, try to shorten that tip up a little bit. But mind you, he's got this huge tail out there now that's going to be hitting stuff and getting in the way. So this is, you know, this is not the best place for him to be. Okay. So especially if you're able to, if you have a big shield, you can still block this like you would any sword or any dagger. You can still block this. You know, you can still control this, so you still have the advantage if you're in close. So he's going to try and shorten this. He's going to try and use this defensively. Okay, while he's doing that, right? You're going to be playing the 4 quadrants. Okay, attacking all the 4 quadrants. But the thing to be aware of is that if he's holding, let's say he's holding this diagonally, right? You want to attack in the same plane that the weapon is being held. So if he's holding this diagonally, my shots are going to come in diagonally. Okay? They're going to come in diagonally. Okay? If he's holding this vertically, then my shots are going to come in vertically. Now, naturally, if I'm throwing my shots in vertically, he's going to move this horizontal to try and block my vertical shot. At that point, all my shots come in horizontally. Okay? So however this weapon is oriented, I'm attacking in the same plane as the weapon. What I don't want to do is try and attack into the weapon. I can't try and get around it, you know, like that. And that has a purpose in that it's going to, you know, if I try to get around it, he's going to have to move this out to block it. In which case, from there, I'm just going to come back. You know, that'll create an opportunity for me to come back and take a vertical shot here. So there is a place for that, but ideally we want to be attacking in the same plane as this weapon. Okay. So that's all I got for you guys. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a member, subscribe. And by all means, I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd like to hear your feedback, your opinions on everything I've said. If you have some other ideas that perhaps I have not considered, please post them. And if you're not a member of the channel, please subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.